Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan. And if you love Bethesda and you're not a subscriber yet to the KingFanMan channel, why not hit that button? Well, the beta's over and Reclamation Day is coming fast. So I thought I would bring you my last thoughts before launch. Well, I played the beta. In fact, I played almost every hour of it. I played every day except for just a little bit on Sunday. And I so enjoyed it. One of the things I really enjoyed was the excitement around it. This being a multiplayer game, it's a little bit different than the excitement around Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, or Fallout 3. You got to share it with other people. One of the things I didn't think I was going to enjoy as much as I did was the picture mode. Being able to take pictures and share them. I didn't take that many, but being able to look at other people's pictures, it was fun. Things like that was just sharing in the world of Fallout 76 with each other was so exciting to me. Going on social media, different social media sites, and talking to people about Fallout 76, seeing their pictures, hearing about their adventures. The way that Bethesda set up the beta, a lot of people griped at it, but by the way, I'll talk about the negativity later. But I actually liked it because in between the beta times gave everybody a time to talk about what had happened. And that's when the excitement and the anticipation and the picture sharing and all that happened. And I just enjoyed that so very much. I just have to tell you, it reminded me of when I was a boy and we would go to deer camp. And in the morning we would go out hunting. And we would do our hunting and we would come back at noon and we would all sit around the fire and we would talk about what we saw and what we did. And that it reminded me of what happened with the beta. And you'd go out and do the beta and then you'd come back and talk about it. That's exactly the excitement around it. It was a deer camp mentality all the time through the beta. So exciting. And I'm really sad that the beta is over. Even though I'm glad that I can play the game anytime I want after launch, I'm really sad the excitement of the beta is coming to an end. Now, as I go into my last thoughts on the beta, it's not all going to be positive, even though I try to be a very positive person, and even though you know I love this game, I am going to talk about the negative stuff, and I'm going to talk about some of my concerns as well. In fact, I'm going to start with my concerns. I do have concerns about some of the performance issues of this game. We know there's bugs in this game. We know there's performance issues in this game. They have gotten better every beta session, and I'm really glad to see that. But I have a concern that they do not have time. I mean, we have a very, very short window now for them to get fixed what they need to get fixed before launch. In fact, I don't see them getting everything fixed before launch. Now, I know this game is going to continue to change. I've said that in several videos, that they're going to continue to work on this game. As they add content, they're going to continue to work on making this a better game. They're going to continue to enhance it. They're going to continue to work on the performance issues, and that's great, but it needs to be the best game possible at launch. And some of the issues that we know it has now through the beta, I'm not sure if they have time to fix by launch, and that's a problem. This being a AAA game and the size company that Bethesda is, it should be fixed by launch. So that is a real concern for me, because I don't want this game to have legitimate things that people can grab a hold of and gripe at. People are going to gripe at it, no doubt, but I don't want them to have legitimate things that they can grab a hold of. So I know Bethesda's working on it as hard and as fast as they can work on it. But I really have concerns over some of the bugs and the performance issues, because it is rough around some of the edges. One thing that is not a concern of mine that is touted as a concern or a problem is the no NPCs or a problem with storytelling. I don't think that's a problem at all. Number one, the no NPCs, I believe, is a strength of this game. I have said that before the game was put into beta, and now that I've played the game, I believe that 200%, because it gives the game such a unique feeling. When you go out there, you are alone, and I mean it gives it such a unique feel of any video game. It is so powerful. And then as far as the story goes, now you do have to take time to slow down and read and listen to the holotapes. If you don't do that, you're going to miss the story. And I understand that some people play at a breakneck pace and they're going to miss it. And that's a shame. You have to take time to read the notes, to read the computer terminals, to listen to the holotapes. But if you do, I believe that's where Bethesda shines in their storytelling. In fact, I believe they tell stories better that way than they do through NPCs. And I believe the story that I've gotten so far through 76 is an awesome story. So I don't see a problem with either thing, the no NPCs or the storytelling. I believe that is a strength of Fallout 76. And for anyone to say it's a problem, number one, Fallout 76, yes, is doing something very unique in video gaming. But when is that a problem? That is innovation. That's the thing that video game companies they need to do that. So that's not a problem at all. Now that also brings me into my next point, and it's how you play Fallout 76. Fallout 76 can be played any way you want to, of course. It's a Fallout game. As Todd Howard has so eloquently said many times, you can go anywhere, you can do anything. Fallout 76, you can play with a group of 4, you can play with one person, you can play solo. And I have done all of those things. I have purposely played solo. I have played with a buddy. Me and Joey Caps teamed up and played. I've also played with a whole group of subscribers. So I purposely did all of those things to see if it had a different feel. And the game has a different feel when you do those things. Now, I heard another YouTuber talk about that Fallout 76 really shined when you got with a group. Well, I have a differing opinion. It just goes to show you that we all have differing opinions. I love the feel of the game when you're solo because you can slow down. When you're with that big group, I felt rushed because you had to go along with the group, and if you were with a fast group, you kind of were rushing, and sometimes you would miss the story. I liked it with either 2 people or going solo. So you need to very much keep in mind not only things like how am I going to kill the enemies and stuff like that when you're teaming up with people. You need to think about the feel of the game and how the speed of the game. How fast do I want to play? Am I going to miss any of this story if I team up with more than one person? If I team up with 3 people? Do I want to play solo? You need to think of those things. Or it's also replayability. If you play with 4 people and zoom through the story, then you can go back and play solo. You know, that's another thing I've said from the very beginning, that Fallout 76 is going to be wildly replayable. Whether it's because you're playing solo or with a team, or just Fallout 76 itself, or because of added content, that this game is going to be, and it already is, a very replayable game. In fact, one of the first things I'm going to do is start over with my characters. I've played on Xbox and I've played on PC as well. At least one of them I'm going to totally start over with, and I know I'm going to get a different experience than I had the first time. Now, another place that Fallout 76 really shined for me in this beta was the new things that Bethesda added to Fallout 76. The new enemies, the new weapons, the new armors, the new clothing, the new things that they added. There are so many new items in Fallout 76. It really blows your mind. But I don't want to give any spoilers in this, of course, but the new enemies the other day that I was coming up against, the Dadgum Snallygaster, or however you pronounce that. I don't like that thing. That thing is mean and ugly, and he's not nice, okay? I guess mean and not nice is the same thing, but those new enemies are so good. The new weapons, I love the new unique weapons, the black powder weapons. So Fallout 76 really shines with the amount of things that were added into this world. Another concern people had was that the world would be empty. And I know those of you that played it along with me, learned very quick that the world of Fallout 76 is not empty. Now, there are some places in the world that are a little more wide open than Fallout 4 or Fallout 3, and I find that more immersive, because sometimes in a video game you have things stacked right on top of each other. But in this game, things are more realistic, if you will. But empty, I would not call Fallout 76 empty at all. The world is more realistic. This world is stacked full of things. In fact, Fallout 76 even has things built in already that are there for new content. I believe there are things like there are vaults that are going to be opened up into when newer content comes. I believe some of those open areas will be things where new content goes. So saying there are too much open area or too much empty spaces, remember, this is a game they want to last forever, and they can add stuff in those open places. So before we gripe or complain, remember, Bethesda has a plan. Let's let them carry out their plan. Now, I kind of went back and forth on whether I was going to say anything about the toxic things that are going on in the community or not, and I'm going to keep it brief because I really didn't want to. I wanted to keep this positive. I wanted to keep it on the beta. But I want to say this. As I started this last thoughts on the excitement that I had about the beta and the fun that Fallout 76 has given me, this is what I want to say about the toxic things that are going on in the Fallout community. It really makes me feel sorry for some of the people in the Fallout community of all the excitement that they're missing and the fun that they're missing. Fallout 76, when you play Fallout 76, it is a Bethesda game. I have played every Bethesda game that there is, going all the way back. Fallout 76 is a Bethesda game. There is nothing about it that's not a Bethesda game. And all they're doing is hurting themselves. But they're also hurting Bethesda and the Bethesda community. And that's where it upsets me. But what I have done and what I would ask you to do, and I wished other YouTubers would do this as well, just turn them off. And I try to pay attention to those people that are positive. I try to pay attention to the YouTubers that are positive. I literally have turned off those YouTubers that are negative. I don't pay attention to them. As long as they're talking negative, when they start talking negative, I don't listen to them because I don't want to hear it. I want to enjoy. Now, that doesn't mean we can't talk about our concerns. That don't mean we can't point out some flaws, but there is a difference between hate. There is a difference between totally going out to be negative and pointing out a flaw. That's a total difference. But it's so sad that they are missing the excitement of what Fallout 76 is and what it has in store. This is a game that, now, nothing lasts forever. Like they say, it's going to last forever. But this is a game that is going to last a long, long time and is going to provide a lot of fun entertainment for us Bethesda fans, and they're going to miss out on that. So I feel sorry for them. So what are my last thoughts on Fallout 76? Well, I want to tell you a little bit about the heart of this game. You know, there's been a lot of things said about Fallout 76. It's been called a cash grab. It's just been called an extension of Fallout 4. As I said, there's been a lot said about it. But some of the things that I've thought about this game, especially in the last beta session, I would be walking along and I would just stop and have to go, wow, when I would see the depth that the devs put into this game, whether it was a part of the story, whether it was just a certain place. But I can tell you that at the depth of this game is the heart of Bethesda. That even though this game may be a little rough around the edges, this game wasn't rushed. That this game is at its very soul Fallout. And it has the heart of Bethesda. Right now, my character's dressed in a full Civil War outfit with a Civil War hat, Civil War garb, and a black powder weapon. And I got it at a Civil War cemetery. Just made me go, wow. Reading some of the things that were there, just so powerful to me. If you are on the fence about Fallout 76, or maybe you're one that have just absolutely said, no, it's not for me, I want to tell you, you might want to give it a try. You might be hurting yourself. Because I can tell you that Fallout 76 is at its very core Fallout. And I believe that you would love it. I want to thank you guys as always for stopping by the King's Corner and getting your Bethesda fix right here. Y'all check my links down below. Like me, follow me as always. If you can, if you're able, please become a Patreon. Do those things because that's what keeps this content on YouTube. So y'all think about it. If you like my content, become that Patreon or send that one-time support through coffee. That link is down below as well. If you're not a subscriber, hit that button. If you've watched this long and you're not a subscriber, what are you doing? Hit that button. I am the KingFanMan. I'll see you next time.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shannon